We are going to use a calculator to convert fractions to decimals today. So as you can see, I've written some fractions such as 1/2, 2/4, 3/6, 50 100ths, 100 200ths, 3/10ths, and 1/4. And I'm going to have you guys say the decimal name for each one, and then we are going to use our calculators to divide the numerator by the denominator. So for the first one, 1/2. How would you say that as a decimal? And just go ahead and say it to yourself. And then in our calculators, we're just going to put 1 divided by 2. And we, of course, got 5/10. And so hopefully that is what you said. Then we're going to write equals 5/10. And then you're going to go back to your calculators, and 2/4, go ahead and say what you think that is as a decimal. And as you're doing that, I'm going to enter 2 divided by 4 with the equals key. And again, that's 5/10. And 3/6, if you enter 3/6 into your calculator and say it as a decimal, it is again going to be 5/10. And the same with 50 100ths. It is 5/10. And 100ths, 200ths. 100 200ths would be 5/10. And then we get to 3/10. And so I'm going to go ahead and get my calculator and make sure that I write my decimal the correct way. So I'm going to write 3 divided by 10. And that's 3/10, just what I thought it was going to equal. I'm going to write 3/10. Now here's your tricky one. What is the decimal of 1/4? Since we don't have a fourths place, we can go over to the calculator and do 1 divided by 4 and get 25 hundredths. So we're going to write 25 hundredths in equals 25 hundredths. So by dividing our fractions, we are getting their decimal equivalents with or without using our calculator. So this fraction bar right here, separating the numerator from the denominator, has the same meaning as a slash for division. So go ahead and turn your journals to page 142. And while you're doing this, if you need to pause me, that is fine. Okay, so hopefully you have your journal page open to 142, and we are now going to use our calculators to divide the numerators by the denominators and write the decimal names in the spaces to the left of the fraction names. Okay, just a couple things before you begin that I want to emphasize. For mixed numbers, divide only the fraction part. For example, if I am changing 3 and 1/2 to a decimal, the whole number, which is my 3, is going to remain the same. So I'm going to write my 3, and then in my calculator, just do the 1 divided by 2 to get 5/10. So then I will do 3, and then I'll add my decimal 5/10. Okay? Also, some fractions will fill the calculator display with 1 or more decimal digits that repeat forever. If the display was big enough. This is called a repeating decimal. It is represented by drawing a bar over the digit or digits that repeat. So for example, if we have, let's do it, let me write your fraction down first. 1/3. If you enter 1 divided by 3 in your calculator and hit equals, you are going to get a repeating decimal of 3. So you can write equals 0 and 3, 3, 3, on and on, or on and on. Or you could just write 0 and 3/10 with a repeating decimal symbol above it. So it's just drawing a bar over the digit that repeats. Okay? Alrighty, thank you. Go ahead and start your journal page now.